Well folks, looky here. Welcome to this week's What Has Bruce Got to Play With? Huge thanks to KTM UK. We have finally, after probably nearly 2 years, managed to get this going. So I now have the 2019 1290 Super Adventure S. I've got this for a couple of weeks to play with. What do you think? Now I'm going to do the usual format, folks. I am going to be heading in for a night duty tonight, so we'll get a little look as to what the bike's like on the motorway and then in town. And then tomorrow, after night duty, I'll take the back roads home and we'll have a bit of fun. Then, as ever, I will do the montage towards the end with some music, care of Epidemic Sound. Link up here or down in the description. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'm going to do a couple other vids with this. I've got a couple of spanky ride-outs planned, so we'll see what she's like in hooligan mode. But yes, let's go. Alright. This here, that's from Ultimate Add-ons. That's just my phone holder to use it as a sat-nav. But I know where I'm going. I've been doing this for about 10 years, so I know the way into work. Keyless, so keys in my pocket. Push the button. Check the display. Ooh. Quite a funky display. You've got everything that you need there. There's trip. I think you can actually alter what is displayed here. It's all in these settings here. There's loads of different things. KTM My Ride, that's an app for the phone which I think I'm going to be getting next week, and then you can use that for turn by turn navigation up here in the corner here, which is great. That shows you what sort of setup you have with regards to the suspension. It's all done through this thing here. Heated grips, yeah, so that's showing I'm currently in sport ride mode, sport ABS, sport dampening, and traction control is on because you need it in this. So, gosh, let's hit the road. Help if I go in gear. Now, disclaimer, I rode this back from Silverstone yesterday. I went up to KTM UK to pick it up and I rode it back all on twisty roads, no motorway. I should have done the first ride yesterday, I do apologise, but oh my god, this thing is a lot of fun. I can't imagine what the actual Super Duke is like. I've got the Super Duke GT coming next month and I cannot wait to try that. But anyway, let's get on the road. First thing you notice with this is that engine. Wow, it just screams like muscle car, just brutal power to you. The note is just like a, not quite V4, obviously this is a twin, I think this is, but it's just got like a guttural growl, easy for some to say. It just wants to have its neck wrung all the time. It feels faster than the GS, it feels quicker, more powerful than the GS. But going by the speedos and stuff, I don't know if it is. It might be a smidgen faster on the acceleration, but you certainly, I really don't think that you would lose the GS on this. It doesn't feel as refined as the GS, but then that's sometimes a criticism, certainly of mine, in that sometimes the Beamer can feel too refined, almost boring at times. This is anything but that. I'm not saying this is shabby, because it's not, but it's got more like basic power to it. This thing's got tattoos and a leather jacket, whereas the Beamer's wearing the smoking jacket. It's one of those things, you know. Both of them, put them in a ring, will kick 7 bells out of you. This thing looks the part and sounds the part. Riding position? Well, yeah, I mean, you're nice and high up here. You've got great vision all around, as you'd expect on one of the big modern adventure bikes. Not a bad screen there. It's manual. You have to, with this one, you have to turn the 2 handles, which is a bit annoying. You can't really do that on the fly. With the BMW, it's a little knob down here that you turn. The Triumph, it's electric. It's not as user-friendly to have 2 handles. You're gonna have to stop, move the screen, all that sort of spiel. But it seems to provide a fairly decent pocket of smooth air, certainly at this speed, sitting at what, 50 at the moment. Average speed camera section of the M20. Boo! Coming your way, people. These average speed cameras are coming everywhere. Smart motorways. Speaking of which, it has cruise control. Real easy to operate. This little switch down here, push in, you get the little cruise control emblem showing up, and then just pull down to set it. Set it at 50. Now I've got a van up my chuff so I can push up on Bosch. There we go. Cruise control set. So that can bring me on to how's the bike balanced. Well, bearing in mind we've got a camber here. It's quite windy, so we're going to have some input from the wind and stuff, but as you can see, bike runs nice and true. I'm not feeling any sort of major vibrations through the bars, through anything like that. It's a nice, well balanced bike. Right, let's get into the Nationals. Right, just coming up to the last speed camera and into the Nationals. The GLF signs. Take off the cruise control, just push that button in again, and off we go. So this is 5th gear. You very quickly get up to speed. Now that feels quicker, but I don't think it is, you know. I don't think it is quicker than the big GS in getting to speed. It certainly feels it because the different engine notes. The ride itself, sitting on the motorway, I do have it in sport engine mode, sport suspension mode, so it's as hard as it will possibly be, most responsive it will possibly be. Feels fine, feels really good actually. Nice ride. It's not rock hard, the seat is hard. I noticed this yesterday coming back from Silverstone. It's not as comfortable as the big GS, and certainly nowhere near as comfortable as the Triumph. I think the Triumph, the big Explorer on the Triumph range, that's probably got the most comfortable seat I have ever sat on. Just period. Never mind just on a bike. Ever sat on. It's amazing. This is much more like a plank of wood with some sort of faux leather or whatever it is over the top of it. It'll do. It's comfortable enough. After a couple of hours yesterday, I did notice it. Foot peg height, great. No dramas at all. My legs are slightly bent, but the standard sort of sitting position you'd expect in a big adventure bike. I've not got my knees around my ears. It's really comfortable. Nice and easy to stand up if you want as well. You can grip the tank with your knees. Feels good. Nice wide bars. Yeah, good effort, KTM. Like it. So let's get into town. Into Lewisham. Oh, that engine is lovely. It just growls at you. Brakes on this, it's probably just because it's not the telelever suspension, it's just standard, well these are, it's WP suspension, but it's the conventional forks. But it must just be that initial dive that's taken up by the fork when you hit the brakes. But they just feel a bit spongy, to be honest with you. They do stop you, obviously, but they don't feel sort of instantaneous. Don't feel as good as the big GS's ones, that's for sure. The Brembo calipers that are on here, front and rear. Now the ride over these sort of bumpy town roads feels good. No complaints there at all. Knock Hill supercar experience. Ooh. Mirrors, great actually. There's hardly any vibration through them at all. And where are you going? Now it seems to be the trend at the moment. This comes with quick shifter and blipper, and the whole engine, everything about this is sort of, I'm going to say clunky, but that's doing it a disservice. It's a very good quick shifter and blipper, but it's not as smooth as, say, you know, the R1200R or certainly the S1000RR, the Gixxer that I've recently ridden. I mean, that S1000RR and the Gixxer, their blippers and quick shifters were like butter. Okay, a bit of a test here for the filtering. Oh, that engine, when you touch the throttle, it growls back at you as if to say, more, give me more. It's like the bike's going, yes, finally! It just wants to be spanked, this. Dirty, dirty girl. That's a little bit creepy, sorry. I tell you what though, bloody hell, it's hot. There is some heat getting kicked out by this engine. Right under your ass cheeks and at the back of your thighs, under your knees. Wow, that is hot. What's the ambient temperature here? It's 23 degrees here. It's quite muggy. Feels like it's gonna rain. But it's definitely very warm down there. sounding more and more like Baron Von Grumble or Sid James every day. The throttle response is lovely, it's just beautiful. Where are you going? Can I go up the inside? Yes, I think I can. Yeah, so you can just be trundling along in, say, third here. What's that, 25 miles an hour? Need a quick splurt? Oh, instantaneous, it's lovely. And it gives you that really assertive growl from the engine as well. Makes people look. I mean, speaking of look, as you can see there, you do get some looks on this bike. Now, I don't know if it's because it's Santa riding it, or if because it's just orange, orange! But it certainly gets looks. And especially when you hit that throttle, people take note. It is definitely a grin-inducing bike to ride. I mean, I cannot wait for the Super Duke GT. That's just supposed to be insane. A friend at work, Andy, he has just got a brand new Super Duke R with a full Akrapovic system on it. Andy's an accomplished rider, he's a handy boy. Big lad as well. And he is just blown away by this thing. I would love to have a shot, but I get offered to ride other people's bikes quite a lot actually, and thank you very much to each of you who do get in touch and offer your bikes. God, I couldn't bear it if I did something, I crashed it or something like that, so thank you very much, but I doubt I could ever take any of you up on that. Never say never, because obviously if somebody's got a Norton V4R that they would like to let me have a shot of, you know, there's probably some illegal things I'd do to you for that. Or a Panigale. I'm trying to get, I've made some contact with Ducati, but I'm not getting anywhere there, but I would love to try, certainly the V4, but even the new Diavol looks amazing, and the Multistrada, and that Hypermoto, I don't know where this has come from, but I have a real thing to try out that Hypermoto. It just looks a scream. There's so many bikes I want to try. Look at that traffic rat. Oh, it really gets my goat, that. Really gets my goat. We as a service, the police as a service, right? You get burgled, we don't send anyone to your house anymore, certainly in London. Nobody turns up, don't send a SOCO, you know, like a crime scenes investigator. We don't send anyone, it's reported over the phone. You know, even some assaults, there's nobody to send anymore. Yet we can still have people sat under a bridge, hiding, right at some traffic lights where people are going to be slowing down anyway to do people for speeding. I mean, come on, get your priorities right. No wonder the public hate us when we're doing stuff like that. Really annoys me about this job. Sort your priorities out. Right, that's my rant done. I know speed kills, I get it, I understand that. And no insurance, all the rest of it. Yes, I totally understand, it has to be dealt with. But I kind of think burglaries, assaults, street robberies are maybe a little bit more of a priority, certainly for inner London. And the fact that there's people dying every single day here from stab wounds and gunshots. Surely, should that not be a priority? Anyway, right, we're not discussing religion or politics anymore. That's it, done. It's bad enough that I keep mentioning GS. I get enough flack off you lot for that. By the way, on the topic of flack, listen, I enjoy it. I enjoy the crack, the banter. It's good fun. However, if you have a personal pop at me, don't start getting offended if I give a little retort back. Some people think it's carte blanche to just help themselves and say what they like. Feel free, but I will bite back at times. You've been warned. God, this thing's hot. Gee whiz, I'm cooking. The back of my flies are being... My back of my flies? Do you want fries with that? The back of my thighs are cooking. I love that engine. Imagine what that would sound like with like an Acura or Yoshi or something on there. An Austin racing can. Oh my god, that would be insane. So this was going to be the review of in-town riding I have never seen London so quiet. Oh, I said the Q word. We don't say the Q word. I've never seen the streets of London so sparse. What is going on? Oh my god, it's 25 to 7. Right, I'm gonna have to get a shift on into work, folks. Right, now, let's go out there and spank it on the country roads and see what she's like there. Oh, morning! Right, we have seen how this does in the traffic and on the motorways. So now it's a couple of days later and we're going to do a bit of a twisty route home to see what she's like on your normal everyday roads. I've got to say I like it. I like it a lot. At the moment, I still wouldn't have one of these over the GS. But this is a lot of fun. It's true what they say about KTMs, they are the hooligan brand, absolutely. This thing will never ever fail to put a smile on your face or a grin. I mean, listen to it. You know what I mean? It's just, it is a heck of a machine. Into the Nationals. Now watch this acceleration, second gear. It's just insane, absolutely insane. I said before that I didn't actually think it was quicker than the GS. It just makes more song and dance about it. It's not massively quicker, but it would certainly win the drag race. You'll keep this in your sights if you were behind on a GS, but you're not going to overtake it. I like that with the dash. See, when you if you go into a dark area like this with all these overhanging trees, it automatically switches the display to night mode, and then when you come out, keep watching. Yeah, see, it switches to the day mode. It's clever, that. Like the GS, the quick shifter works from first gear right the way through to fifth. You can quick shift from first to second, no problems. Into Nationals, fourth gear. Oh, that's just so addictive, that engine note. Oh. Like I said before, I am going to be doing at least one more vid with this, because I've got it for almost 3 weeks. So in a couple of weekends time, I am going to be heading out with some mates. They're all going to be on GS's and S1000RRs. I will turn up on the KTM and we'll see how we do. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I need to get milk. Remind me to get milk. Now, I wanted to show you something I've noticed on this. The front is quite flighty, I have to say. It's nowhere near as planted as the German tractor. Once you get to exciting speed, you start to get a lot of movement in the bars. So the bars start doing this. It's shaking its head a lot. Doesn't do it all the time though, that's something I've noticed. Now, I said before, the brakes didn't give me great confidence, but I tell you, it's just getting used to the bike's characteristics, to be honest with you. This hasn't got telelever suspension, so when you hit the brakes, there's compression in the front forks like you get with standard bike, with normal bikes. And it's just getting used to that, you know, and having the feel through the levers that when you hit the brakes, especially if you're braking hard, there's going to be that sort of bit of take up, if you like, by the forks as the front of the bike dips. But it's not drastic, and the brakes certainly do stop you. It's just a different sensation to what you get on the tractor. It's hard work sitting at speed limits, I tell you. Oh, I don't need to tell you lot, do I? I'm on my course at the moment, a police bike course. So at the moment I'm getting paid to hoon it around southern England and the Midlands. It's a tough life, isn't it? It is a tough life. Right, we are going to find somewhere to do our little montage so you can see the beast. We'll probably just go to the same spot. This camera's at a real angle, but I don't need to tell you that, do I? Because you're all sat there like this. Oh, meant to say, if you're not following the Instagram account and you're on Instagram, can you check it out, TeapotOne Insta, and give us a follow please, if you don't mind. Apparently you have to hit 10,000 followers to get certain functions on Instagram, like, you know, if you're watching a story or something, you swipe up and it will take you to a website or a video or something like that. Well, I can't do that at the moment because I think I've got like 4,000 followers on Instagram. So if you would be ever so kind, link is up there or down in the description. It's TeapotOne Insta. If you'd be so kind as to give that a little follow, that would be fantastic. Thank you. And obviously all you patrons out there, awesome, 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 awesome effort, people. We have hit another goal, which means we're now going to be heading off to do a bit of a ride out in the UK somewhere. It looks like it's going to be probably Lake Peak District and into Wales, northern Wales, I'd imagine. We had a bit of a vote, a bit of a poll amongst everybody on there, and those that took part, the vast majority voted for England, with the lakes and the Peak District being firm favourites, and Wales gave it a good run for its money. So I'll probably do a sort of a two-dayer over a weekend somewhere. So all the details for that will be on the Patreon page. It's only open to Patreons, this one. So check that out up in the link above. And if it's something you'd like to be involved with, feel free to join. Oh, it's beautiful. Power is just superb. I have got to take out the new 1250 again. I haven't given that a proper spanking to be able to compare it. So I'm sort of comparing this to the 1200. This has oodles more grunt everywhere over the GS, loads more. The GS has, and this has, and torque, the GS has, and this has. Speaking of which, facts and figures, check them out. Wait for it. Now, I can really see why you see a lot of KTMs flying down the road on the back wheel, because that is just addictive. And you can feel the front coming up just with that. The front goes really light. I'm not a wheelie man, I wish I was. I'm gonna have to get lamb chops or Richie or somebody to teach me how to do that. I pooped myself. It went about an inch off the ground, I bet. I felt like I was doing a stand-up wheelie. Jeez, pathetic, isn't it? So, you know what's coming, folks. You regular viewers will recognise where we're going. Montage time! Whoop.
I want you to save me from myself. Save me from myself. Save me from myself. I want you to tear me down and build me up again. Save me from myself. Save me from myself. Save me from myself. We don't belong together, so I bother. When I surrender to being useless, I am unable to breathe. I can't make out what is real or fancy. No waking up from this dream. I want you to save me from.
We do like a montage here, don't we? We do like a montage. Well, folks, that'll be the first ride of the 2019 KTM Super Adventure S. I'm really enjoying it now. I've been on it for a few days. I wasn't blown away when I first jumped on it, I've got to say. I just kind of thought, yeah, okay, it's got power, but it wasn't the package that its German counterpart is. Like I said, I've got it for a couple more weeks and I am really, really looking forward to going on some rides on this with the boys. So, tune back again, hopefully next week, maybe the week after, when I will have that vid for you. This has been this vid. Thank you very much for all your support as always. You patrons, you are awesome. Can't do this without you. Thank you. For all you subscribers who've come along, welcome. And for all the rest of you who've been here for a long old time, you're my kind of people. Thank you very much. Right, folks, look after yourselves. Remember, get on out there and live your life. Oh, I forgot the milk.